we open it up for questions for the coach and players. Please give us your name, your affiliation, and to whom you're asking the question. Kevin, give us an overview.
Well, obviously, it was a really well-played game. Came down to obviously the last out there in the ninth. And, starting on the mound with Hurston, he was outstanding tonight. I think he had struck out 12 over 6. And offensively, we hit some home runs early, get us to a 5-1 lead. And then we knew Oral Roberts was going to be really difficult to deal with. They got an older lineup, but obviously Kate came in there at the end and shut things down for us. So we're excited about being 2-0 and looking forward to playing on Wednesday.
Yep. Okay, I'll open up for questions for the student athletes. And everybody just jump up at once now. Okay, here in the middle.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. Luke, I'm just curious what you were looking for in that pitch and that homer, and what does it mean to have another day, particularly early on, where you guys, use the long ball to kind of build some offense and build the lead?
Yeah, I think we started off good with getting a couple balls we could handle and driving them out of the yard, and kind of setting the tone early. But that at bat, mainly, I think he got me 0-2 on 2 changeups, and then I was just kind of thinking heater and then reacting to a changeup. I wasn't going to let the heater get by me. So luckily he threw me one over the plate that I was able to drive in. Yeah.
Okay, Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Hurston, how would you just kind of evaluate your stuff tonight? Obviously a very good performance.
I mean, overall, it was the end result was good, and that's all that matters. But kind of took me a little bit to settle in, and it's a big stage, and obviously a lot of feelings, a lot of adrenaline and emotions that come with this game. So be able to settle in, and obviously I didn't have the best feel for my fastball or command for my fastball, and so to be able to have the 3 off-speed pitches and rely on those and work with BT really well, and just be able to control the game from there.
Okay, here. Yep, right there.
Scott Carter, FloridaGators.com. Josh, I mean, you guys are obviously where you want to be. But what's it like to, have these close games, and what's, as a player, especially tonight with strange sequence, and just take us through maybe that last inning?
Yeah, it's very intense. Like Sully said, we knew Oral Roberts was going to be a tough opponent. They've been good all year and beating good teams all year. So, yeah, it was a very intense game. But, we got to stay together as a team, and that's something we always talk about in the dugout, staying together as a team and trying to just move forward no matter what happens. And, yeah, that last inning was very intense. We had a couple guys on, and fortunately enough, we got a ground ball that we were hoping to turn a double play, but chopped a little too high, so we were able to get the second out there at second. And yeah, we had complete faith in Cade Fisher. We knew he was coming in there to do his job, and yeah, it was just amazing for him to come in there and fill up the strike zone and get that last out to Mikey.
Okay, Jake.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Josh, Luke, y'all both got out on really early. What was the scouting report on the pitcher, and how did y'all kind of attack it?
We knew that he was going to slow the ball down against us, but early on in the game, he was beating a couple of us with some heaters. So it was more so just see his pitches up, see everything up in the zone, and once we got through the lineup that first time, and we noticed that he was going back to his fastball quite often. For me at least, my approach, my second at bat, I didn't want to get beat with the heater. So I took that first pitch change up, and I was sitting dead red heater because that's what he beat me on my first at bat for the strikeout. So luckily I got it and caught it out front and kept it fair. Yeah, like he said, I feel like we definitely were thinking. Based on what he's done all year, it kind of likes to slow the ball down, but the heater always also plays a little different. It showed early on people were kind of getting beat by it, but I'd say like what he said, I didn't really want to get beat by the heater, so I was kind of reacting to the off speed, but sitting on the heater, and was able to get a heater out over the plate and drive it.
Okay, back here.
Matt Talverney from World Baseball Network. Hurston, how does it feel to have a catcher like BT be such a workhorse throughout the course of this year?
Yeah, it's a really big advantage that a lot of people don't understand the value of, and the value in, and having a guy with so much experience, and seeing what he's done over the past 2 years. And you talk to any pitcher on the staff and any player on the staff, he manages the staff really well. He manages the game really well. Any moment of the game, he makes sure he'll talk with his infielders no matter what. He'll get on you in any moment. But he's also there to support you. He'll get you through the game. And, I know there's a couple of times through this year where I didn't have my best stuff, but he was there to push me through the game. And, he's really great with calling pitches, and he handles the pressure of ball games really, really well. And it's been really nice to have him behind the plate.
Okay. We'll go over here first with Scott.
Scott Carter, FloridaGators.com. Hurston, you said last week against South Carolina you probably had what you thought was your worst bullpen of the season. How'd you feel before today? And then second, just what's real? I mean, these last 3 starts for you have been pretty tremendous. Just what does it mean just to do it on this stage?
Yeah, I think the bullpens. A lot of starting pitchers probably say this, but the pregame bullpen's one of those things where you don't really put much stock or thought into it. It's kind of one of those things where you feel your pitches, like you feel the spin, and kind of get a feel for the body. How are you feeling that day? But at the end of the day, it's all about stepping on the mound for the first pitch of the game, and just going from there, forgetting everything that's happened before that. Everything that's happened before that first pitch doesn't matter, and so being able to step on the mound and forget that, have a clean slate. And then I think that's what I would say has helped me through the past 3 starts and past couple starts, really, is just being able to step on the mound, throw strike one, and trust the guys behind me, trust that we're all gonna have a good game.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah, Josh, you guys get the first 2. Now you're in a pretty good position. You have rest until Wednesday. What does this do confidence-wise for the team to be able to pull off these first 2 and be in a good position to get to the finals?
Oh, it definitely builds a lot of confidence, but we can't overlook anybody we play. No matter what the outcome is of the next game and who we face on Wednesday, we got to come in with the attack mentality and try to focus on, one play at a time, one inning at a time. So it definitely builds a lot of confidence, but we had a lot of confidence coming into this World Series, and the biggest thing is we just can't overlook anybody, because anybody can beat anybody in baseball. And, these past couple games that have been played early on in the World Series have been kind of like thrill seekers towards the last couple innings. So, like I said, anything can happen. We just got to come in here with the win mentality and attack whoever we play.
Okay, we have one more question for the players, and we'll get it from Zach here.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Josh, Luke, there were a lot of weird plays to this aspect where the game kind of stopped for a second. How did y'all kind of stay locked in those moments?
The only thing you can do in those moments is, push them to the back of your mind and just focus on what's next. For instance, that inside the park home run, you got everybody going crazy in this, wonderful, loud stadium. It's tough to kind of figure out what's going on. And, we made some mistakes defensively, setting up that play. So we just got to learn from that and, move on. And, just like my error when, I missed the ball and they got closer to, tying the game up and stuff like that. You just got to move forward because, you can't dwell on what happened in the past. If you do, bad things are just going to come rolling down. So we just got to keep our head on a swivel and move on to the next play.
Yeah, like
Okay.
you said,
If you want, go ahead and comment.
I feel like you just
Yeah,
gotta just be able to move on from those. I mean, if you kind of let that hang in the back of your mind, it's not going to put you in a position to have success for the next couple of plays that are coming your way. So I think you just got to be able to move forward on those, and because the ball's always going to find a way back to you. So being able to forget about that is just going to put yourself in the best situation to be successful.
Okay, thanks, Matt. That'll be it for the players. Thanks, and we'll see y'all. Take 2 days off, okay?
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let's open it up now for questions for Sully. And we'll start with Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Sully, I think the last bad start that Hurston had, I think I saw him at A&M, and since then he's been really, really good. I guess from your perspective, what are you kind of just seeing in his progression week in and week out to get him to the level that he's at today?
I think he's been able to make adjustments in game. You can kind of tell that they were swinging early in the count, and he's had the ability to throw his curveball and his slider and his split early in the count. I think maybe through the first half of the year, his split was more of a 2-strike pitch, but now he's been able to slow the ball down. And when people are swinging early in the count like they did, he's got multiple weapons that he can go to.
Okay, Kevin.
Yeah, Kevin Brockway, Gainesville Sun. The mound visit situation, do you have someone that's like charting that in the dugout, or how did that get kind of lost track in the 8th inning?
Yeah, we keep it in the dugout, and I had a brief conversation with the umpire before the inning, and it was totally my mistake, and no one feels more terrible about it than I do. But at the same time, it's like a player that has a bad game or gives up a run there in the 9th or something, or an extra innings. You got to move on from it. But I told the team I apologized to them at the end of the game, and they just said they had my back. And on the flip side of that, Cade comes in and from Friday night and is put in a really tough position. Probably has never pitched in an environment like that or in a situation like that. So the one positive there is, he should feel really good about himself. I know the team was fired up, but I'm fairly hard on myself a lot. But I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get these guys ready to play on Wednesday. That's the bottom line.
Okay, Jake.
Jake McKeever, College Baseball Central. Coach, you used Neely in the first game and then you used him again tonight. How do you feel about his arm going forward?
Who's that?
Neely, the closer.
Yeah, he's fine. We've used him on back-to-back nights before this year, but now everybody's got 2 days off, and then obviously Jack hasn't pitched yet. He didn't pitch in the Supers, so he should be ready to go by Wednesday for sure. Obviously.
Okay, Mike.
Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com. Not only as a participant, but just as a college baseball guy, how good is it for the game? This College World Series has had great finish after great finish after great finish. Just how good is it for the game, what's happened the last 3 nights?
Yeah, I think it just shows you the parity that of college baseball. I mean, every game seems to be really, really exciting. I mean, I think obviously LSU and Tennessee last night was a 3-run game. Everything else seems like it's a 1-run game. So I think it's great for the game. It's very exciting for people to watch. And like I said, but the 8 teams are here for a reason. It's not easy to get here. So not only are you playing good teams, you're playing really good teams are playing their best at the end of the year.
Okay, Scott.
Yeah, Scott Carter, FloridaGators.com. Sully, you've been out here enough to know that when you win your first 2, it makes life easier. I mean, what would be your approach and just message to these guys the next couple of days?
We've got to keep our edge. We haven't done it yet. So, sure, we're 1 game away from the finals, but we still got to play 1 more game. So, they've got to stay the course and what we've done the entire year, and don't take anything for granted, and be ready to go on Wednesday.
Okay, Kevin.
The home runs tonight, you guys broke the school record, at 135. But just how much did they give you? That give you a jolt or a lift in being able to knock their starter out in the 4th inning?
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to at some point maybe we get a couple guys on and hit a 3-run homer, so the solar ones. But certainly our team is built different this year than maybe it was some other years, and we've been fortunate to where the win, on Friday night the last 3 innings would start to die down, and then tonight the win was in our favor as well. So, but we are prepared if we've got to change the way we score runs, and play a little, more hit and run, and run the bases a little bit more aggressively and that type of thing to manufacture runs. We do have the ability to do that too.
Okay, Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Slowly just, I guess, talk about Cade Fisher. And I mean, he goes out there a little bit quicker to get ready on the mound than he's used to. He's usually doing that in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Then in the 10th situation there in the 9th, I mean, just the job that he did as a freshman and that kind of just pressure cooker situation.
Yeah, I think that's the one silver lining in that whole thing. That, I mean, I'm sure he's never pitched in an environment like that or in a situation like that. And, and coming back from Friday night's outing and him be able to do that, I think speaks volumes of his maturity, his competitive spirit. And like I said, he needed to throw the ball across plate and did. And, like I said, if there's one positive thing that came out of my mistake was Cade being able to get the last 4 outs.
Okay. Scott? Okay, this should be our last question.
Yeah, Sully, I just want to go back to Hurston for a minute. He didn't want to talk about himself too much, but to do what he's done in these 3 starts in the tournament on this stage, I mean, you've been around the game, good pitching. Just what's it say about this guy?
Well, you can't get to this spot without having Sproat and Waldrep, and now CAG has got to follow up on Wednesday, and we've got a guy at the back end in Neely, and yeah, I mean, when we've been in this position and we've won the first two, or gotten to the finals, the starting pitching has been really good, and both Brandon and Hurston have been just outstanding.
Solly, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll
See you on Wednesday.
see you Wednesday afternoon.